What is going on, guys? It's Noah here with Custom RC Mods. Welcome back to the channel. Now in today's episode, I've got a little bit of a different video for you. As you can see, we're here at the desk, but I'm bringing you a flight video today. Unfortunately, I can't get outside as often as I'd like to, just with this COVID stuff, and also there's not a lot of good places to fly at my urban university. It's kind of in a sketchy area, so I feel kind of hesitant to go goggles down in when I'm alone, especially. I need a spotter. I haven't really made those connections yet, so we're still working on that, and as soon as I can get to in-person flight videos, I will crank them out as much as I can. Again, just need to network a little bit and get those videos all ready to come out. But today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a new series, which is going to be all about getting better using a simulator. In this case, we're using Liftoff simulator, which is $20, and I think is one of the best tools for learning how to fly a quad. It is just it's very realistic. It has been developed by companies like Immersion RC, Fat Shark, Rotor Riot, and it's just it's a great tool to learn. Seriously, you use your real transmitter just like this, plugged into USB. This is my Radiomaster TX16S, and then you go ahead and use real tools. You can fly a real quad. You can spec it out as just as as good to your heart's desire. So if you got a quad in the mail you're getting, you can spec it out to have the same amount of power. You can also set the PIDs and the rates to your liking. So as a beginner, you can start off in the simulator here. You can find some rates that you really like, and as soon as you go to the real thing, you can transfer those rates, even those PIDs, over to that quad, and you will be able to pick up in real life right off of where you left off in the simulator, which is just such a unique way that you can learn to fly FPV. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do this series here. I'm not only gonna be practicing just by myself, but I'm also going to go ahead and give you guys some tutorials along the way. Today's videos are gonna be more of a tutorial. I'm gonna talk about some basic exercises you can do when you're flying around, just to get better at flying, because I think that is one main thing that holds people back, especially getting into FPV. You see people like Mr. Steel, you see people like Ladrib, or Stinger Swarm, or something like that. You see those videos, you're interested in getting into FPV. As soon as you get that quad up in the air, you're doing all these flips and rolls, and before you know it, you're doing all these crazy tricks and trying to get it done, but you're crashing so much because you actually haven't learned how to fly the quad. So today I'm going to talk about how to be able to fly smoother, and how to be able to pull off tricks a little bit better. And that's going to be a good foundation before you go ahead and get into some more advanced tricks down the road in this series. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get in here and get to flying. So first things first, this is, like I said, Liftoff Simulator. We are at the Green, which is a golf course, and I think this is just a really unique flying environment. It has a lot of good perks to fly at, and I'm flying a basic top mount freestyle build. It has like 2306 motors, and it's like a Ladrib Skyliner. It's actually really crazy what kind of customization you can do in this simulator. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to it. So I've got my arm switch set up. You can set up switches through your transmitter. That is something that's going to be really useful for you, just to make it as realistic as possible, like I said. So let's go ahead and arm it, and we're going to go ahead and get this thing on its way. Alright, so just hovering up here, the first thing that you should do when you start flying in the simulator or in real life, all these things obviously can be practiced in real life as well. However, I really recommend the simulator. It's going to save you a lot more money than you think, just in the crashes and the breakages, things like that. I think that everybody should have a simulator in their toolbox, whether the weather is good or not, or you just don't have a convenient flying location. Even if you have 100 acres in your backyard where you can go ahead and fly drones all day, I think it's going to be really good to learn tricks in the simulator, because then you obviously don't have to break quads, and $20 will really come back. The return on your investment is really good for the simulators, and Liftoff is very inexpensive, and I think it's one of the best. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. My first exercise is going to just be flying around nice and controlled. We're going to focus on small stick movements here. We're going to focus just flying around very, very simply and easily. And you can see one thing that I'm doing is I'm kind of rocking back and forth as I'm flying. And this is a tactic that's called skating. And skating is something that's really important when you're trying to put a freestyle flow or just a very smooth flying characteristic together in your flight skills toolbox. Skating back and forth is going to be something that is really important. I'll tell you why. That's because there's a really hard center point when you're flying around. So you can see, as soon as I get to kind of snapping my turn, so we're flying straight right now, my stick is centered, but as soon as I kind of start snapping around, it's really hard to get something really precise. However, if you're just traveling through the center point, you can be really smooth rather than kind of jittering through. There's a little notch right there in the center of the stick, which kind of gives you a little jitter in your roll and your pitch. So learning to skate back and forth is going to set you up for your turns. So you can see I just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then one of those I just extend a little bit, and that turns into my turn. Just like that. Just like that. Kind of hit the ground there. But you kind of get the idea. This is something that is more of an advanced technique, but I think getting that seed planted in your brain very early is going to help you as it comes to flying, just because it's something that obviously you will use later down the road. So if you can start practicing right now, even if you don't totally get the concept, again, it's not totally essential. It's just going to make you more of a smooth pilot, and the smoother you can be, the better. Now, a lot of times people start into freestyle using really high rates. I definitely recommend lowering those down, but also if you plan to use high rates in the future, even if you're using low rates, learning to have resolution in your flying is really important. Learning to use the very small amounts of stick travel with very precisely is extremely important. I'm using about 800 degrees per second, which is fairly fast for modern freestylists. I'd say it's probably on par for what most professional pilots use. Most people have been scaling the rates down. A few years ago, actually, a lot of people flew at like 1200 degrees per second, which is crazy. But 800 degrees per second is pretty much where you might want to end up if you want to be on par with like Schizo or Joshua Bardwell or Stinger Swarm or any of those people. They tend to fly rates around 800 to 1000 degrees per second. So if you want to start practicing with something like that and you can control the quad, then that will be something very useful, because if you start on those lower rates, while that's a good tool, it's going to be harder to adjust down the road. And lower rates is also going to help you with your resolution. Even if you're comfortable flying at 800 degrees per second, oftentimes I go ahead and bump my rates up to like 1000 degrees per second, just so I'm a little bit more precise with my stick movements using the very inside of the stick right here. You can see all I really need to do when I'm going around here is just to use a very small amount of stick travel, and it can really get me going, and that's pretty much all I need to do. I'm very rarely, if ever, using my entire stick to go ahead and obviously turn the quad around. I just need to go ahead and emphasize that you got to practice using very little amount of stick, because the stick jamming is something that a lot of beginners tend to do. They go like this and they're like, I can't control it, it's too sensitive. Well, yeah, because you're using the entire stick. You want to go ahead and use about the first third, and I think you guys get the point after that. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, if you can use the first third, you don't really need to go super crazy on the angles. This is really going to help you keep things under control. So yeah, once you've learned to kind of keep the quad under control, to skate around, to have some fun, the next exercise I want to walk you guys through is how to go ahead and actually follow something. And this is going to be a really good exercise. I think if you're using Liftoff, the green track right here, or just a path around the golf course, is a really useful tool. You can basically, you're telling the quad where to go. Essentially, you want it to follow the path. This is a good way to grade yourself on your flying abilities. So I'm basically finding a path right here, and I'm just following it the best I can. You don't have to go fast, and you don't have to be super low to it. You just want to kind of keep yourself really locked in on the path, and that's going to be a good way for you to know that you can accurately tell the quad where to go. You can kind of look ahead and see where you need to go. Like, I need to make a turn here, so I'm going to go ahead and correct for it, and there we are. And as you get better and better, the thing is, this exercise can grow with you, because it's not just an objective way of saying that you're good at this. There's always ways to improve. You can go faster. You can always get better at it. You can go faster, you can get lower, and as you improve, as you put about an hour per flying session of this, that's what I did for a few months, and this just really helped me fly better. And it doesn't just have to be boring flying around a little circuit here. All you really have to do is just fly around. But I can go ahead and put in rolls and hit stuff. I guess that's kind of just what you get. You can do. Just try to kind of pretend like you're chasing something on there, like a RC car or a golf cart or something like that. Just chase things around. Chase something imaginary. I'm sure there's things in other simulators that might be moving around as you're flying. but then also just avoiding obstacles, things like that as you fly around. You can be really aggressive. You have to find the balance between flying aggressively and flying smoothly. It's something that I've learned to isolate from each other. So I can fly really smoothly. I can use very little of the stick just like this. However, I can also fly really aggressively where I'm stick jamming all the time. And instead of changing direction by just snapping my sticks, I can go ahead and maybe do a yaw spin or something like that. So kind of gain speed. Oh no. Try that again. So kind of gain speed. And those yaw spins, those rolls, or anything like that, always just kind of find their way into your flow because you're flying a little more aggressively. So trying to isolate those things from each other, because as soon as I'm done flying aggressively, I can go back to flying smoothly, where I'm using very little of the stick travel, keeping the horizon relatively centered on itself, and it's something that should be very useful. And if you're flying for a client, you want to fly cinematic FPV, you need to learn how to fly very smoothly. You might want to run a little bit lower rates, but if you're trying to fly freestyle, especially when you're flying in a tight environment, you still need to know how to fly very smoothly. Because if I'm flying up through here, I can't do that at Mach 10 when I'm flying at 100 miles per hour with my freestyle drone at really high degrees per second on the rates. So yeah, that's basically all there is. Chasing paths is one of the best exercises altogether that really helped me become a better freestyle pilot all around, and I definitely recommend it if you guys wanted to get better. Just putting those amounts of practice in every single time you go out and fly in the simulator. But yeah, the next thing I want to talk about is how to do a recovery exercise that I really found helpful as well. And this is more of a random type little exercise. Basically, you're going to go ahead and jam the sticks and get yourself in an uncomfortable attitude. And I just hit a tree. We're going to try that again. But you're basically just going to go up, and then you need to go ahead and catch yourself before you hit stuff. So this might be best done in an open environment because you really don't know where you're going to end up. But just kind of go up, hit the ground, but you're going to just try to level things out, because as soon as you kind of start to do like a Rubik's Cube and you really don't know where you are. So I'm doing like a Rubik's Cube, and I kind of come out of like an uncomfortable attitude. I need to be able to recover from that very quickly. And if you do this with rates that you're actually going to use on your real quad, you can actually learn some muscle memory that will help you all the way down the road when you're getting into actually flying outside, if you're just learning in the simulator here. Because if I'm flying out here and I'm upside down and I need to get out of it very quickly, I know that all I have to do is just snap it once on my rates. One snap and I'm back to horizon level. So kind of just making those snap adjustments to kind of get you there, like, oh, just like that. Very, very quickly, you need to increase your reaction time as you're like flying through something. You feel very uncomfortable. You can, I crashed there. But you need to know you need to kind of feel that muscle memory of your rates, because I'm pretty proficient in my 800 degrees per second here, and in my rates I know 90 degrees, 180, 270, that kind of thing. I can do snap rolls just like that, and I'm really, really comfortable with this, and that also helps me down the road when I want to do something a little bit more advanced, that I really know my angles really well, and I know even when I don't have a visual reference point where I am at. So I can do like a Matty flip, and I know how to get back to horizon level. So those three exercises, learning how to skate around, learning how to fly around a path, then also learning how to recover and from uncomfortable attitudes, are really going to serve you well in FPV, especially as you're learning. And this is the stuff that you need to learn how to do before you get into your actual flying and learning tricks and things like that. So yeah, that was a lot. I was basically just ranting. I was kind of talking. It was very unstructured. I hope you understand. I hope you learned something from today's video. That was my goal. If you guys like this series, make sure to give it a like, and also comment down below. I love your feedback. I'm just trying this out, and if it's a total fail, maybe I just don't pursue it, but because I can't really get those flying videos out, I'm happy to do this, and this is a lot of fun anyways. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. In the next video, I will be focusing more on some tricks and learning stuff for myself as well, so stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.